Good morning, students. In continuation of our video lessons, let me introduce myself. I am C.G. Lakshmi Prasad, Assistant Professor of English, working at Government Degree College, Atmakor. Yes, now it has loaded. Yeah. It is going to be fourth video on pronunciation, and in this video, it is going to be third video on consonants. First video, it's a vowels, and second, third, fourth on consonants. First, second, third on consonants, and it is going to be third video on English consonants and the fourth video on pronunciation, and it's going to be the last video on pronunciation. Okay, let's learn what is pronunciation first. As I told you in the previous videos, sounds are the basic building blocks of spoken language. So without sounds, there cannot be language, and the language is built of sounds. The International Phonetic Alphabet, that is IPA, it has devised certain symbols with which we can represent all the sounds that exist in the world by all the languages. Okay, all the speech sounds used by human beings in all the languages of the world. Every language uses a small set of distinct sounds called phonemes. So every language has its own system of sounds, and all the sounds may not exist in all the languages, and every language has its own system of sounds. And with the IPS symbols, what we can do, we can transcribe any sound, any word, and we can learn how particular word is pronounced. We can use IPS symbols to represent phonemes and the pronunciation of the words of a particular language. This written representation is called phonemic transcription, and so we call it phonemic transcription, and is useful tool in learning pronounce words correctly. And here is an example I've brought university. Suppose if you don't know how this university is pronounced, we can just look up at in the dictionary, and you will find the pronunciation through IPA symbols. Once you get to know about these symbols, it's very easy for you to learn the pronunciation as well, besides the meanings. Okay, this is ya, not ja. Ya plus u, u, ni, wo, city, university. That is how any word pronunciation can be learned through dictionary with the help of IPS symbols. And there are other symbols as well. America uses its own symbols. Okay, but as far as most of the countries, it follows IPS symbols, and many dictionaries follow IPS symbols. There are 44 sounds, phonemes in the English language. When it comes to English language, we have 44 sounds or phonemes. Okay, and of these 44 sounds, we have 20 vowels and 24 consonants. Again, we learned that 20 vowels are divided into two types, that is pure vowels and diphthongs or glides. Pure vowels means it will be just one sound, whereas if it comes to diphthongs, there will be two vowels, and we'll be moving from one vowel to another vowel, like I, ow, o, ya, like that. We have learnt already. And when it comes to consonants, we have divided them according to different categories. First one is voiceless and voice, that is voicing. Based on voicing, we can divide all the consonants into voiced consonants and voiceless consonants. Again, when it comes to manner of articulation, how the sound is produced. Okay, based on that one, we have divided them into different categories, that is plosives or stops, fricatives, affricates, nasals, and liquid and semi vowels, like that. Okay, but in our textbook, these liquids and glides, are termed as approximants, whatever it is. So we have different types of consonants based on manner of articulation, and at the same time we have place of articulation and where it is placed. Okay, that means where air is stopped. Based on that, we have different categories: bilabial, labiodental, interdental, alveolar, palatal, velar, glottal. Like that, we have different categories. And now we are going to, already in the last previous video, we have discussed about plosives and fricatives. We have completed these two, and now we have to discuss affricates, nasals, and approximants. These three things we have to discuss in this lesson, and we try to learn them in detail. First, let us go to affricates. I told you plosives and fricatives we have completed in the previous video, and if you have not seen that video, please see that video, and it is continuation to that one. Okay. Affricates. We know that consonant sounds can be classified in different ways. One of categorizing consonant sounds in according to their manner of articulation, that is manner of articulation, how particular sound is articulated, how it is produced. That is a category with which we can classify consonants, and already plosives and fricatives we have learned. Now we are going to learn about more about affricates. Affricates, we can say that it is a mixture of plosives and fricatives. I told you in plosives, what happens? We stop the air from lungs. Okay, air has to come from lungs when we want to speak, and we stop at a particular place, any place like bilabial, labiodental, dental, like that. Some place, even glottis, ha, is a glottis. We stop the airflow and suddenly we release it. That is how plosives are articulated or produced. And whereas when it comes to fricatives, what happens? Air escapes through narrow passages and creates a friction or hissing sound. That is the definition. So affricates is, it's both of them. What we do in affricate is, while producing or articulating affricates, what we do is we stop the airflow at a particular point of place, and then while releasing, we don't release it suddenly, but we release it slowly with a narrow passage, so that there is hissing sound as well as a friction. Okay, there may be hissing sound and friction will be there. So we start with plosive and end with the fricative, so it is called affricate. So what happens is here is that affricate is a type of consonant sound which combines a plosive with an immediately following fricative articulated at the same point where air is stopped. At the same point, we release the air slowly, that is with friction, not suddenly. Plosives, what happens? We release the air suddenly, but whereas fricative, we don't stop completely, but release it with a narrow passage, so that there is a friction or hissing sound. So it is a mixture of plosives and fricatives, so it is called affricates. There are only two affricates in English, only two. That is cha and ja. See here symbols, T and S elongated S. Okay, both together becomes cha. Then ja, da and za, z, za. It becomes ja, za, cha, za. Okay. And these two sounds are called affricates. Okay, examine carefully. Cha. See what is happening? We are stopping air at the ridge. Okay, and slowly releasing with friction. Cha, cha. It is not sudden. It looks like both plosive as well as fricative. That's why it's called affricate. And a consonant sound can occur at the beginning of a word and at the end of the word, or anywhere between the first and the last sound of the word. And even plosives and fricatives, we have learned through this formula. We have tried to differentiate one consonant to another from with the help of this initial position, final position, and medial position. And even these other consonants also, we try to learn with this method, and there are so many methods as well. We have minimal pairs also. That also I will teach you in some other video. Minimal pairs. What is minimal pair? It's very simple. Like suppose you want to learn about pa ba. Okay, how pa is different from ba. So you take a minimal pair. That means all the other vowels and consonant sounds will be same except pa ba. Like pit, bit. Only pa is different. Pit, bit, pat, bat. In the same way, run, gun, ra, ga. Okay. Like that, they are called minimal pairs. With the help of minimal pairs, when you are not able to differentiate sounds, by learning these minimal pairs, we can learn the consonant sounds as well as even vowel sounds. Vowel sounds. So minimal pairs is one system, one way of learning sounds verification, differentiation, so that we can grasp that particular sound correctly. Now let us go to the examples. Affricates. We know that there are only two sounds, cha and ja, and initial position, medial position, final position. And cha usually represented as far as spelling is concerned, ch, cha, chain. Okay, even tch sometimes match, match, tch becomes cha, chain, charge, chill, change. See, all cha sounds with the help of ch, okay, spelling with the help of ch becomes cha. And let us see if there are any other ways. In the medial position, purchase, mischief, archer, attachment. See, here also same ch at the middle of the word, and it is pronounced as cha sound. And here when it comes to final position, match, see, tch, t in fact is silent here, match, pinch, speech, punch, almost ch becomes cha. Okay. And as far as Telugu people concerned, it's very easy for us to pronounce because cha sound is there in Telugu, so there is no problem. Then we have ja. Even ja is there in Telugu, so there is no problem. But when it comes to fricatives, like I told you, za, ja, these are difficult for Telugu people. Almost they think that za, ja, ja, all three sounds are same to Telugu people. Okay, they say ju, they don't say zoo. It has to be zoo. I told you in the last video, it has to be zoo. In the same way, garage, not a garage, we say garage. Okay, it has to be garage, mirage. But for us, it is almost all same ja. But we have ja sound as well in English, and yes, here there is no problem for Telugu speaking people. We pronounce it correctly, but when it comes to za and ja, there is a problem with the pronunciation. We think that it is almost all same. Ja, we substitute with the ja. See, let us see here initial position, ja sound, job, genuine, junior, general. See here, ja sound can be, we have J as well as G. Both J is there, J can be pronounced as ja, G also can be pronounced as ja. So we have two possibilities as well as spelling is concerned. And when let us come to medial position. In medial position, we have region, objection, education, budget. Some people pronounce as education, and which is also correct, but there are two pronunciations, both are acceptable. Education is also correct. See here, ja, it is represented by du. Du is pronounced as ja, education. That is why English is a very funny language, and we write something and we pronounce it something. Here comes major problems. Whereas when it comes to region, it is G, no problem. Objection, J is there. This is also no problem. Education, budget, not budget, D silent. We have to say budget. Okay, ja, no problem. Education, when it comes to education, DU is pronounced as ja. Here comes some problems. Then let us come to final position, large, not large. It has to be pronounced as large or silent, large. Message, last one, ja. Page, change. So when it comes to R, we have to be very careful. R is almost never pronounced except there is an vowel after ra, R sound. After R, there should be a vowel. Then only R is heard. When you speak, it should be heard only when there is a vowel. Otherwise, R is silent. You should never pronounce R. Then let's go to nasals. Nasals, nasals means we speak with nose. We speak with nose. What is this? Actually, what happens when you pronounce some words, when you pronounce any word, what happens? The air has to come from lungs and it has to come out. Okay, there are two passages, that is oral cavity and nasal cavity. And most of the words, now, while pronouncing most of the words, what happens? The air escapes through oral cavity. It never escapes through nasal cavity. It never escapes through nasal cavity. But only while you are pronouncing nasals, the air escapes through nasal cavity. Okay, and we have only through nasals, that is ma, na, okay. So we know that the consonant sounds can be classified in different ways. One of categorizing consonant sounds in according to their manner of articulation, how they are produced. That is how they are produced. And these nasal sounds are produced by releasing air through nasal cavity, not through mouth. Almost all sounds except these three sounds. Okay, we have 44 phonemes in English. Okay, of all the 44 phonemes, 41 phonemes are pronounced by releasing water through mouth. Whereas when it comes to these three sounds, air escapes through nose. Only three. Okay, that's why they are called nasals. Now we are going to learn more about nasals. A nasal consonant sound is produced when there is a complete closure of the passage in the mouth somewhere. Okay, it may be bilabial, it may be somewhere we completely close the passage and air never comes out from the mouth. So then what happens? Nasal cavity will be there here like this. Okay, two cavities will be there, and air escapes through nasal. Usually, while you are breathing in and breathing out, we have to use nasals. Okay, we breathe out from our nasal and we breathe in through our nasals. But while we speaking, what we do, we breathe in with our nose, but while it never comes out from our nose. Why? Because we are speaking and air has to escape from mouth, then only sound can be produced, and it cannot be produced when air escapes through nasals, except these three sounds. They are ma, na, okay. Is very very good example. Even ma sometimes we get confused. Ma. See, we are closing the air passes through our bilabial. It is bilabial. Ma. Then air comes out of our nose. You can see ma, 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 na, air comes out through our nose. A consonant sound can occur at the beginning of a word, that is initial position, at the end of the word and the final position, or anywhere between the first and the last sound of a word, that is in medial position. So we have three position: initial position, final position, and middle position. And all the other consonants we have been learning this way. Let us understand the nasals also through their position. Let us come to the first nasal sound, that is ma. Initial position, we have number of words with ma, so there is no depth for examples, but there are some no problems with some like ja. We have seen ja has very few words in English. Okay, very few words in English, but whereas others are like sa, za, ma, na, ta, ka. Most of the words, most of the consonants have very large number of words, and it is widely used sound in English. So ma is also one of the widely used sound in English. And we have initial position, man, match, mind, more, number of words are there. So there is, and even for Telugu speaking people, the ma is no difficulty in pronunciation, and very easily we can pronounce it correctly, ma. Then medial position, grammar, smooth, smart, lament. Here also we have number of words. Very easily we can pronounce them. And the final position we have game, fame, same, lame. Okay, these are at the final position. And let's come to na position. Okay, na. Na initial position is name, next now, near. Even na sound is not very difficult for the Telugu speaking people, because we have na sound as well. So it's very easy for us to pronounce. And the middle position we have manage, answer, manner, scanner. All these are at the middle position. Then final position, ban, cane, sane, line. There are so many words. So there is no depth of words for ma and na. And it never starts at the beginning of the sentence. There are no word which starts with the sound in English. Maybe I don't know. Some other languages may be having, but even in Telugu, I don't think we have a sound. There is no sound. Sound is not there. But there are no words as well in Telugu as well. And but even if there is no sound in Telugu, we don't find it very difficult in pronunciation. There is no problem. We can pronounce it correctly. And when it comes to middle position, we have finger, finger. R again. See, R is not pronounced. Finger, uncle, uncle, uncle. We say uncle, not uncle, uncle. Finger, strongly, length, length, not length, length. Then final position, thing. I told you, tha has to be, whenever you have to pronounce tha, your tongue has to show up little. Thing, ring, bang, boring. Almost all ing words, there are number of ing words, and it ends with sound. There is no problem, and we can pronounce it correctly. Then let's go to approximants. Here actually we have two types. One is liquids and glides. Liquids means we have la and ra, la and ra, and then wa and ya. Wa and ya are called semivowels. All four are categorized as approximants, and let us see what are approximants. We know that consonant sounds can be classified in different ways. One of categorizing consonant sounds in according to their manner of articulation, that is how they are produced. And how these approximants are produced, let us see. Now we are going to learn more about approximants. Approximants are consonant sounds that are produced by bringing one speech organ, such as a tongue or lips, close to another without actually touching it. But actually, our definition of consonants is that we touch one organ with another organ, and air is stopped, or we let the air pass through narrow, something like that. But whereas when it comes to these approximants, there is no touching. Just we bring it. Okay. Suppose if it is hard palate or soft palate, this is a soft palate, and this alveolar and teeth and something like that. We bring our tongue just very close, but there is a gap. Sorry. Let us see. La. La, what happens at the alveolar? We bring tongue very close, but there is a gap. La, la. Don't touch. La, we don't touch. La, la, la. Okay. The same way. La, ya, wa, wa. Round, but they are not close. They don't touch. They don't touch each other. That is how these approximants are produced. So what happens? One organ, one speech organ comes close to other speech organ, but they never touch. There is a gap and air escapes close to another without actually touching it. And there are four approximants in English. They are la, la, ra, ya, wa. Okay. So a consonant sound can occur at the beginning. We have been telling all these things. The beginning of a word, that is in the initial position, at the end of the word, that is final position, or anywhere between in the first and the last sound of a word, that is middle position. And with these things, we have been trying to learn consonants, okay, for the past two videos. And even these approximants, which is the last one of the consonants, is the last category of the consonants we have been we are going to learn through this strategy. Let us learn the first one, la. And we have number of words, and it's not very difficult for us Telugu people to pronounce the la sound. It's very easy. At the initial position, we have lamp, lid, later, light. So no problem. Then medial position, flower. After fa, we have la. Flower, silly. See, I tell you, we have in Telugu ottulu, akka, pakka, ekkada. But in English, there are no ottulu. There may be two sounds, silly. But a pronunciation, as far as pronunciation concerned, it will be silly, not silly. But we say silly fellow, not silly fellow, silly fellow. Okay, even call, not call, call. That's all. There may be two consonants together, but there is no concept of ottulu. That is two consonants. A strong consonant is not there in English, and it will be as CAL, call, CALL also call, same. There is no word called CAL, but even if it is there, it will be same. It will be same. CAL is call, CALL is call. In the same way, silly, SALLY, silly, not silly, not silly. It will be just silly. Public, and we have la sound here. Then claim, la sound here is there, claim. Then call, I told you just now, call. Two L's are there, means it's not call, call. That's all. Even feel. See, just you try to differentiate call and feel. Call, feel, call, feel. There is no difference. That's what I've been trying to tell you. There is no system of ottulu in English. There is no ottulu. Okay, we have kavattu, lavattu, chavattu, ravattu we have, but in English we don't have this kind of ottulu system. Okay, akka we say. Okay, raka, akka. See, raka, ka is different. Akka, ka is different. Ka, 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 da, da, ta, ta. In the same way, we have ottu to another consonant like, for example, um, uh, for example, I'm not getting any word. Raktamu, raktamu. Okay, rak plus ta. But English, we have this system. Okay, we have this system like action, ka plus sha brought together. Action, picture, ka plus ta, picture, ka plus cha, picture is there. But same, I mean, that is same constant, same ottu. Akka, pakka, ekkada, no such system in English. Then we have mail, cell. See, even cell, two L's are there, but we simply say cell. That's all. Okay, even CLL, cell, cell. That's all. We don't say cellu, cell. That's all. Cell, call, and we don't have that stress pattern. Our English system, our English has its own pattern of stress, and we stress the syllable. We stress the syllable, not the phoneme. Okay, we stress the syllable. Syllable stress is there, but the phoneme stress is not there. Whereas in actually Telugu, with Telugu comes, every letter is a syllable. Every letter is a syllable. That is a different case. If you compare Telugu language to English language, particularly as far as system, sound system is concerned, there are so many variations are there. It is totally different. Our system is different. Our Telugu system is different, and English system is different. See, you have to compare. This is how you have to compare, so that you get to know the language, the feel. You can learn better language. And let's come to the next one. Ra. Rain, ribbon, region, rule. All ra sounds at the beginning. And but actually, even ra sounds in English, we have so many varieties. So many varieties of ra sounds. At least 3, 4 varieties are there. And native speakers can differentiate these sounds. But whereas when it comes to Indian speakers, we for us all ras are ra only. But there are differentiations are there. Even law also, there are a variety of laws are there in English. Rounded, la, 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 like that. In the same way, ra, 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 rounded ra, something like that. And we have different symbols as well in IPA. Okay, even in English itself, we have different sounds, but we learn it just because it's very difficult. If we make it more complicated, maybe if you want to learn linguistics, MA linguistics, there you can learn all those things, and you get the differences between different laws and different ras, different laws and different. These two are very difficult, particularly as far as sounds are concerned. English sounds are concerned, la and ra are very difficult sounds, and there are very minor variations are there. Okay, so that if you are very interested in learning these sounds, you have to take MA linguistics, where you can get to know the difference, different laws and different ras. But as far as general English is concerned, there is no need of learning that much. Just if you know there is la and there is ra, that's enough. Okay. And stream, it's a middle position. Carrot, parrot, marry. Okay, these are all at the middle position. And final position, there is no ra at all. And you know the reason why. R is pronounced only when it is followed by vowel. There should be a vowel, then only we pronounce it ra, where we pronounce ra. Otherwise, ra is never pronounced. So there are so many words ending with R, but it is never pronounced. That's the reason why here we are learning only sounds, not spellings. We're not interested in spellings. We are learning only sounds, and is called phonetics. Phonetics is a study of sounds, not spellings. Spelling is different. That's the reason why there are almost nil words ending with ra. But whereas when it comes to America, in Americans they pronounce ra, even if there is no vowel. They pronounce it. Their ra is heard, but British ra is unheard. British ra is unheard, and American ra is heard. But we are learning British English, so there are no words ending with ra sound. Then we have two more, ya and wa. Ya is also very easy for us, but you see the symbol. Symbol is J, but it is not ja. It is ya. It is ya. Initial position we have yellow, union, university, your. When it comes to articles, most of the times we get confused, because we were taught maybe in our primary schools, whenever there is a article, we have to use an, and we were taught that a, e, I, o, u are articles, but actually they are articles. Maybe they are alphabet representing what is that? Vowel sounds. But vowel sounds, now you know. Now you are very clear. Now you must have learned that there are 20 vowel sounds, and these 20 vowel sounds can be, can be represented with a different alphabet. And it is not necessary that A, E, I, O, U should represent only vowels. And here is an example. University. University is starting with U and it should be vowel, but the sound is that U is pronounced. When it comes to pronunciation, it becomes Ya. Ya plus U, university. So Ya is consonant. So we have to say a university, not an university. A university. In the same way, an English person. We don't say an English person. English, there is no problem. European. European. We have to say a European, not an European. Why? Even though it is starting with the vowel alphabet. See, you have to be very careful. Vowel alphabet and vowel sound. There are 20 vowel sounds, whereas vowel alphabet are only 5. Okay. So even though it is starting with the U in European, the initial sound is Ya. Ya plus U. U, then Ra, O, Pa, Iya, Na. European. When you transcribe it, you start with the Ya. So it is starting with the consonant sound. So we say a European, not an European. In the same way, a university, not an university. Okay, so sounds are more important than alphabet. We have only 26 alphabet in English, but sounds, 44 sounds are there. These 44 sounds are very important for us, and these 44 sounds are represented through only 26 alphabet. That is the reason why we have so many problems and we are not, whereas when it comes to Telugu, we have we have same number of alphabet as the same number of sounds. So we don't have any differentiation. So there is no problem. We don't need to learn pronunciation separately in Telugu. We don't need pronunciation separately in Telugu, because whatever that we write, we read it the same way. It is almost all transcription. We don't need a separate transcription for Telugu. Whereas when it comes to Telugu, we need transcription, because spelling is different and the pronunciation is different. So we need to learn even pronunciation as well. So we need transcription as well. So in order to transcribe some word, you need IPA system, IPA symbols you need. And even if you want to learn certain sound, you have to learn these IPA symbols. Then only you can learn the pronunciation through dictionary, through these IPA symbols. Then let us come to medial position. Beauty. See, where is even here also U is pronounced as Ya. See here, beauty. E-A-U. Ba Ya. Ba Ya U. Beauty. Pupil, not pupil. Pupil. Pa plus Ya. Pupil. Then mule. Ma plus Ya. Mule. Puke. Pa plus Ya. Puke. And when it comes to final position, again there are no words ending with Ya. I've tried my level best, but I could not find any. If any one of you find, please post it in the comments. Okay, but as far as my knowledge goes, there are no words ending with Ya sound. Ya sound. Okay, no, nil almost. Then Va. Va. See, Va means it is not bilabial. I mean dental. It is not dental. It is not, Va is different. Okay, this one Va, rounded. Okay, you have to round your lips. Water, water. See here, water. Then wonder, one, wed. See here, even O is representing wa sound at the beginning, initial position. And the middle position we have always, 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 squeeze. Here, wa sound is there. Sa, ka, wa. Squeeze. Beware, beware, where, beware, away, away. And even at the end position, there are almost all no sounds ending with the wa sound in English. I don't know. I have not found. Maybe there may be, but I have not. I am not able to find it. If any of you find, you can comment. You can put it in the comments, and I will try to give it in the next video. The examples. I'll be very thankful if you do so. And thank you very much. We have completed all pronunciation videos in 4 sessions. Okay. So in all these 4 videos, first we have learned what is pronunciation, what is phonetics, what is IPA, and what are vowels, how many vowels are there, how many consonants are there, and different symbols for vowels and consonants, and how vowels are categorized. And there are 2 types of vowels, and why they are categorized like that. And consonants can be categorized based on different ways, and there are 3 ways, that is voicing. Based on voicing, all the 24 consonants can be divided into 2, that is voiceless and voiced, and the manner of articulation and how they are articulated. Based on that, again we have categorized into different categories, like plosives, fricatives, affricates, then nasals, then approximants. Then again, based on place of articulation, we have bilabial, labial, labiodental, alveolar, palatal, velar, glottal, like that. We have categorized, and we have learned all these things. Hope this video you have enjoyed, and next video we're going to learn about parts of speech. And in the parts of speech, the main category is noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, the pronoun, preposition, these things, even conjunction, these things we are going to learn in the next set of videos. There may be 4 to 5 videos on parts of speech. And keep watching my videos and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.